Good afternoon on what is a bright, warm, sunny day. It is Saturday the 14th of May and I'm back in reading up with some parcels and a nice hot cup of tea. And we're going to continue opening up this parcel, which contains this content. I thought I'd just show you that. Small magazines. So I've already done an unboxing of that, followed by, let's have a look, that, and now I'm going to do the last one I have here, which is this. This is Senet, and it's issue number 4, which came out in spring 2021, so it's a year old. But I've picked these up because these are really enjoyable to read. They're very nicely laid out, and they're really informative when it comes to reading about board games. I mean, it shows a real nice, there's a nice passion to them, passion to the writing, and it's all very interesting inside. And the layout is really quite lovely. So we have there's the editorial. Before we get into the list of contents, nicely organised into behold, features and unboxings. So behold essentially is forthcoming things, features is the main articles of the magazine, and then we have the unboxing, which is mostly the reviews. So behold, we have Tales from the Loop board game, which has really only just come out earlier this year. I'm hoping to get a review copy at some point because I really do like the Tales from the Loop as a setting. It's a really lovely little role-playing game. And so essentially here we have sort of like a preview stroke review, hopefully looking at what it's going to be, and it's doing the same thing, for example, also with the Thing board game, again another one which I'm looking forward to reviewing. And what's interesting is that in case of with something like the Thing, is that publishers are taking intellectual properties and really turning them into proper board games. And what I mean by that is that it's no cheap roll and move or essentially take that card game. They're a bit more. They're heavily themed around the ideas and concepts behind the thing in question. So, for example, in the Thing board game, it's a game of hidden identity. Now we've had lots of board games about hidden identity. You know, with obviously starting off with Mafia, but then that became Werewolf, and that ultimately got you Resistance, and then Secret Hitler, for example. But you can do that in a board game as well, and this adds a tactical element to the deduction, of course. We have more options here, more forthcoming games, lots of them. So on, and I mean, I have to be honest that I don't review as many board games as I once did. Partly because it's a matter of space. I don't have the space to really store them as I once did, and there are more role-playing games for me to review these days. But the first article in here is how the West was fun. We're looking at how the Wild West was, as a theme, was brought to board games. And it's written by Owen Duffy, who has written numerous articles about board gaming, and of course curated the board game book, which has come out every year. So we've got some examples here, the top of which is the game Colt Express, which won the Spode Yaris a few years ago, of which I'm a big fan because it's such fun. And as you can see, that the board game itself has a real presence on the table. You put that down, you've got a cardboard train, and it looks fantastic. Anybody who walks up to that and goes, "Oh my God, what's that?" And then we get into more interesting things like the Western Trail, and we've really got a good, full, interesting article, complete with a list of the best games that cover the genre. So nicely done. And then we have an interview with Martin Wallace, who almost needs no introduction when it comes to board gaming, having designed so many different board games, whether that is Age of Steam, Brass, A Few Acres of Snow, Discworld, A Study in Emerald, and so on. Just so many designs. And again, each of the issues I've read so far have had really good interviews, and this will probably be no exception. And then this is followed in The Need for Speed, and here this is showcasing the artist Dominic Mayer interview, and again showcase for his artwork, and again, you know, another nice piece. And each and every time I've read or perused a copy of Senet, I've looked at it and gone, why doesn't role playing have the same thing? Doesn't have a magazine which is as good as this? Now it kind of does. I mean, if you've looked at Weird Science, that's a good choice. But here we have, which is just showcasing this really stunning artwork. I'll just show you more and more, and you just go wow. And then, just as it has done with previous issues, it's looked at worker placement and then deck building. Here we have on the tiles, which is tile placement. The article itself really pointing to one of the first, which is Carcassonne, dating all the way back to 2001 when it won the Spogliares, and that's still a good game. That is still a good game. I mean, it's a classic for a reason. You know, and it keeps going through different iterations and so on. So I've got multiple iterations of the game. You can see through it also here. It's got different links to different types of games there. So the railway, but track lane kind of game, and there's a lot of white space in here, and I don't care. I mean, you will say a designer says, you know, or you know, too much white space and so on. This really does. It does give the sort of like the content room to breathe and makes it easily accessible, makes it stand out. And then here we have a sort of guide, sort of like to some of the most notable titles that use the tile laying mechanism. And unboxed is your review section with a sort of Thrive, Gloomhaven, Jaws of London, which is the sequel, Jaws of the Lion, sorry, which is the sequel to the huge Gloomhaven board game. Dune Imperium. Again, that's looking at another board game that came out recently. I've always wanted to have a look at. Pandemic Legacy. Zero. Escape the Dark Sector. Now that's one I have reviewed, so you will find a review of that on my blog. And more. So Mariposa there is a board game about the migrations of the monarch butterfly in North America. Then we have themes kind of games, basically another game derived from another property, Horizon Zero Dawn, and below that the best of 2020. So this is a bit sort of like looking back a bit, but I mean that's no bad thing. You know, these you know, obviously sort of the thing with the magazine is it captures the feel and nature of the industry and the hobby when they come out. So they're sort of like nice sort of like historical snapshots. I mean, if you read them now, if you read the most recent issue, you're going to get it more up to date. But with these previous issues, you know, they're still valid in what they're saying with the reviews say. Then we've got basically guides on how to play, and lastly we have Shelf of Shame, where a designer gets out a board game they haven't played and actually plays it. You know, basically, I've not played that, it's been on my shelf for a while, I should play it, I know how that feels. But anyway, that is Senet issue number 4. If you go to an event like UK Games Expo, Senet will be there, or hopefully maybe Dragon Meet by the time you see this video. they'll be there, have a little stand and be able to show off the magazine. And if you're interested at all in board games, I definitely think you should pick this up. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching another unboxing of the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, please look at the please click on the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, then I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings of the Nook, where you'll see me out here in the Nook with a parcel and a book or a game, or in this case a magazine, which I will unpack and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do hit that subscribe button. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.